but you at Cato, that has a publication called smashalley.com, and they want everybody to know exactly what the Democratic Party and its candidates are standing for in this election that we're going to have next Tuesday on the 5th of November. And the Democrats don't like you to know this. They would prefer that you vote in an intellectual or an informational vacuum. But listen to this. Only Democrats want to allow partial birth abortion. And what exactly is that? And should it be legal? Well, it is a horrific abortion where the fully developed baby is pulled all the way out except for 1 inch of his head, so he's still legally unborn. Then the doctor stabs the baby in the back of the neck with the scissors and then takes a tube and sucks his brains out alive. This type of infant murder is so unnecessary and so grotesque that there are fewer than 5% of the doctors will even perform them at all. Partial birth abortion was voted on to be made illegal twice, but both times a Democratic president named Bill Clinton vetoed the bill so he could keep it going on in America, no matter how disgusting it is. It's the Democrats who are for partial birth abortion. Remember that when you're trying to decide for whom you will vote. Okay. Only Democrats want to allow live birth abortion. Well, what exactly is live birth abortion? And should that be legal? Well, it's a way of killing a baby that was accidentally born alive in a botched abortion attempt. The baby comes out alive, but to kill it then would be murder. So the doctor puts the baby in a bucket, sets the bucket in a closet, and leaves the baby to suffocate to death. It is, of course, murder. And sometimes has taken an entire 8-hour nurse's shift for a baby to finally suffocate to death. 19 Democrats voted to keep this murderous practice illegal, and several nurses eyewitnessed it in a Lutheran hospital. Are Democrats arranging for public schools to teach homosexual sex ed, and should that be legal? Well, a 14-year-old student secretly taped teachers telling a classroom full of 14-year-old students about a homosexual practice called fisting. In this, a homosexual man inserts his fist into another homosexual man's anatomy, you can imagine where, to stretch him out to prepare him for homosexual intercourse. Other subjects being taught in homosexual sex ed include how to swallow semen. This is awful. Pro-homosexual teachers also vote Democratic and have secretly joined with left-wing media and pro-homosexual groups in trying to recruit your children into a sick, perverted lifestyle by glamorizing homosexuality. They're even succeeding in selling the lie that to be truly hip, cool, and up-to-date, you have to be homosexual or lesbian. Much to the horror of pro-homosexuals, it is a fact that they are not born that way. It is a preference. It's a choice. All right. Are Democrats arranging for your tax dollars to pay for $50,000 sex change operations for sexual perverts, and should it be legal? I answer, Democrats have legalized tax dollars in San Francisco for homosexual males and females, knowing that it just makes the homosexual person more popular in clubs as everyone celebrates his new tax-financed sex change. These cost anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 taxpayer dollars. And the Democratic lawmakers allow these expensive operations to go on, knowing full well that many ill children will have to go without much needed treatment so that these sexual deviants can have more sick fun in homosexual bars. Are Democratic lawyer groups helping child molesters broadcast tips on how to rape children and get away with it? Well, a group of left-leaning Democratic lawyers called the ACLU are fighting hard to allow a group of homosexual child molesters called NAMBLA, or North American Man-Boy Love Association, to post their tips, this is quote, tips on how to rape children and not get caught, end quote, on their perverse website. Only a Democrat would help a gay pervert rape your child. Homosexual groups claim to be against discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, but every year they themselves refuse to let NAMBLA march in the big annual gay pride parade. It is obvious that these pro-homosexual groups are hypocrites who discriminate on basis of sexual orientation against NAMBLA every year, even though the child molesters claim to be born genetically predisposed to their sexual orientation. Okay, that's just some of the things that the Democrats stand for, and we'll get back to that. Right now, we're going to our callers.
What you're about to hear was recorded off the radio. It is Rush Limbaugh, the #1 most listened to radio host in America. Listen to it, find his voice, know his voice. This is about sick art, what's coming up.
4, 3, 2, 1. If you're still listening, I'm warning you. You got your kids around, you don't want any part of this. I'll count to 5 again, just to give myself insurance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yegi, the artist, explaining to the journalist writing the story the nature of his performance art project. My volunteer was tied up. He had a blindfold and a gag. He could see and talk through it. He had freedom of movement of his pelvis. I engaged in oral sex with him, and he engaged in oral sex with me. I had given him an enema. I had taken and stuffed it in his. That goes on. He all over me. I in him. There was a security guard present. There was an instructor from the school present. It was videoed, and the piece was over. Administration officials held lengthy meetings with Yegi's instructor, Labatt. Discussions focused on the dangerous nature of exchanging bodily fluids for art's sake. Implicit was the litigiously dangerous nature of allowing this to go on in a supervised classroom at the San Francisco Art Institute. The volunteer's mother was rumored to be a judge. She witnessed this. It was now feared that the volunteer might sue. The volunteer, contacted through friends, did not want to comment for this story, but students at the Art Institute, the Academy of Art College, and the rest of the tight-knit San Francisco artistic community were riveted by the incident. The Art Institute, meanwhile, seemed to scurry into damage control posture, which is what, given this? What kind of posture? Specific posture do you assume for damage control for something like this? I want to see that posture. You get my drift. After hours and hours of closed-door meetings with the Institute's administration, even the professor attempted to distance himself from the piece. Said the professor it was plain bad art. Art. This was irresponsible in any context, he said. It made me wonder why anybody would want to do a story about it. Why would anybody be interested in anything as basic as this? Nobody should be interested in this. But the professor said that, but the student, Yegi, said Labatt did nothing to stop the piece while it was taking place. Yegi also says he ran the general premise of the piece by the professor before performing it. The professor declined to discuss the performance in detail. During your tenure in this school, you're required to read The Tears of Eros by George Bataille, where he discusses pain in the history of erotic art. Anyway, there are even more graphic descriptions of other performance art in this story, such as Karen Finley's latest, which involves stuffing sweet potatoes into specific bodily orifices.
And then there's Bill Clinton. He gets booed Wednesday night at a birthday concert for country singer Willie Nelson at New York's Beacon Theater. The place went wild when Clinton was announced, and they went wild with loud booing and yelling. Afterwards, the president was complaining, quote, I see the Republicans are all here tonight. They're here. Invincible. Hillary. All right, that's enough of this. Yeah, Hillary. Marty!
They say he's causing an outrage. The Democrats, get back in your cage. A new breed to open your eyes, to make America hand its hand out. Hand its hand. They say he's stepping across the line to sanitize American mind. He's getting ready to rock a nation for America's sanitization.
The one thing the left doesn't want to come out of all this is a victory for George W. Bush.
He's got a plan, he'll make it happen. When Democrats, their jaws are flapping, he keeps his cool, his toes still tapping, sanitize with fingers snapping.
You know, they'll do anything that they can do to take away what is one of the great military victories. Politically, they don't want Bush to have this. Because as soon as they get exposed as having been on the wrong side of history, it is intolerable for them. Yeah. Hey, Susan, you know, you're the great lover of humanity. You know, Susan, those little children would still be in prison if you had your way. Is that your definition of peace, Susan? What about you, Tim? You know, the only way you could really be for human rights when you think about it, is in terms of a government, is to have a strong military and the ability and willingness to use it. getting called G. Gordon Liddy tonight. The president was complaining, quote, I see the Republicans are all here tonight. They're here. This is the vet. I should have known. The Republicans heard I was coming. They just want to come out. Those freepers. I bet the freepers did it. My friend, glad you're out there. Who's this?
Sure.
Marty!
You must understand that Flipper's baby is not fat. He's just a well-adjusted, well-fed, protected child.
Oh, boy, glad you're with us. Sean Hannity Show. All right, back to our phones. Mark in Washington on the Sean Hannity Show.
Dr. Hannity?
It's the great one.
I want Nancy Pelosi to know that this war might cost $100 billion. Whatever she paid for that facelift was way too much.
Oh!
And I understand the Now Gang's going to be protesting at Augusta. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Now, there's a bunch of Saddam Hussein lookalikes.
Oh, hello? Hello? This portion of the Sean Hannity Show, we'd like to remind you we are not responsible for the comments of callers that independently make their shots. 800-941...
I want all men and beast
We're approaching
squad to
the front
close in
door
on
right
the
now.
premises immediately.
Over.
Close in on the premises immediately.
All units move in.
I know you can all hear me. Sense the urgency of this message. It's a proven fact. You will serve Jesus Christ or scream in hell. Of eternal
Wake up, smell the coffee. You're living like a fool. But it's a proven fact. You need Jesus Christ. You gotta make a change. You better think it through. Gotta think it through. You gotta think it through. Don't throw it away. You gotta think it through. What you wanna do? Take your family to hell with you. Cause it's a proven fact. You need Jesus Christ. You gotta make a change. You better think it through. You gotta think it through. You gotta think it through. Don't throw it away. You gotta think it through.
We heard advice to try anything but not Jesus Christ. Intellectual fools who claim to be wise. I'll uncover your lies, media lies, the spiritual lies. They're gonna tell lies. Of the human race, but I spit in the devil's face, and I pray that you'll open your spiritual eyes. Beware of the lies, media lies, the spiritual lies. They're gonna tell lies. From the worthless dead churches, false prophets will rise as a mountain of truth will unveil their disguise, quickly exposing their satanic ties. And uncover the lies, media lies, spiritual lies. They're gonna tell lies.
sand. And you know you're getting older. Are you ready for the judgment day? Spiraling down into hell, you can hear the distant scream. Into hell, in a fast and furious tailspin, and you're screaming for your life. And the jaws of hell are opening wide, 'cause you rejected Jesus Christ. Your future is so obscene when you reject the Nazarene screaming machine. But it's a race against time, so you better not feed the flames. Reach out to Jesus Christ and get your children off that burning train. On a fast track into the flames. Don't you listen to the hell-bound sinners who say that there is no shame. That wicked train of sin will burn you alive. This ain't no game. Reach out to Jesus Christ and get your family off that burning train. Unveil the evil.
Hogwash till the cows come home. You let sick people die when you chicken down with your kid gloves on. But when you call God a murderer, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. So I'm gonna take the bull by the horn and tell you I smell a rat. Yeah, preacher man, I smell a rat. You say I'm a dark horse busy as a bee kicking over your sacred cows. Yeah, I smell a rat. So you better clamp up. You're on a wild goose chase for a scapegoat, but you're a sitting duck. You said let sleeping dogs lie. Curiosity killed that cat. But I'm gonna take the bull by the horn and tell you I smell a rat. Man, I smell a rat. What did you say? Over your sacred cows. Yeah, I smell a rat. Horse that's blind as a bat. But I'm gonna take a bull by the horn and tell you I smell a rat. I smell a rat. Didn't you say I'm a dark horse busy as a bee kicking over your sacred cows? I smell a rat.
find the right track. But when you find it, you turn your back. You're setting up for a bloodbath if you don't walk on the narrow path. Hand of destruction and gardens of grief. You've got to cast out your unbelief. It's not enough just to say you tried. The gates of hell are open wide.
And it's a proven fact that hell is an actual place where any of your loved ones that have passed away without making Jesus Christ their Lord are screaming in unspeakable torture right now.
Your fast and furious fall from grace, eye to eye in the devil's face. Why do I get to kick back and laugh? I'm making tracks on the narrow path. Come on in, man. Check it out.
Man, this is a nice studio.
Oh, yeah.
Look at all these instruments in here.
Now, I'm going to play all these instruments, but I need you to do a sound check for me for the beginning of the album because there's dueling solos battling throughout the whole album, and you need to make sure that the saxophone, the flute, the electric piano, and the harmonica is all on the right side, and the organ, and on the left side, the solos are going to be coming from the slide guitar and the lead guitar, so that it'll be a one-of-a-kind must-have for every collection. Just dial it on in.
Get on it.
Here we go, brother.
Man, you got to be kidding.
It's a roller coaster ride. Now I'm getting ready to play the flute right here and battle against this lead guitar, so cross it left to right. Now right here I'm going to play a rock and roll organ solo and keep it moving.
Make that thing talk.
All right, dude, I'm getting ready to bust loose on the saxophone right here. Just dial it in. Now you better step back a little bit because this thing is going to crack right through your bifocals and peel your eyelids back across your forehead.
that's some wild stuff.
Crazy.
Feed me on up, Scotty.
A blast on the synthesizer make your hair stand up on your head like Don King. I always say if you're gonna start a rock and roll band, you start a rock and roll band and do it right with the goal of being the best on the planet that there ever was. And don't let anybody talk you out of it. You got this guitar dialed in, let's go.
Bring it on.
We're gonna rock to the glory of God Almighty. At smashalley.com, you're going to find out that we're on a mission to totally expose and destroy the Democratic left-wing liberal bias that dominates the mainstream media. We got to tell more people about the only fair and balanced news network on earth, the Fox News Channel. Watch Bill O'Reilly at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the O'Reilly Factor on 24-hour news channel called Fox News Channel. Read the book.
Hagee, Sheriff caught Osama bin Laden.
Get him, Sheriff Hagee.
Now put this one in the coldest, darkest hole in his
Step
head.
into number 3, boy.
Now close cell number 3.
Sheriff Hagee said, sit down in your cell, scumbag.
That's why they call it the slammer cell.
I heard that.
All right, folks, welcome to the Davidson County Jail. You'll be issued your flip-flops. You'll speak only when spoken to, and you will say yes, sir, no, sir, at all times.
You heard the sheriff. Listen up.
By the way, over 3 million law enforcement officers spend every day trying to take you scumbags off the street, and deep down inside, you knew we were going to get you.
No deals in this jail.
Put this one on suicide watch. It's always the meanest, toughest one. But we'd rather die than sit in prison.
You keep your ear to the ground, within an inch of your life. You hear them knocking at your back door, and you've been up all night. It's time to meet your maker. The wages of sin is death, and you've been working like a devil, and it's payoff time at last. Never lift a finger. You're slinging dope in the street, and now a slip of the tongue has got you taking the heat. It's time to meet your maker. The wages of sin is death, and you've been working like the devil, and it's a payoff time at last.
Spider car get you every time.
You got 20 years,
I
boy.
love to smell of handcuffs in the morning.
You in cell block F now, boy.
Don't mess with Team 101.
We're tough on crime here, son.
This ain't Mayberry, and I definitely ain't Andy.
Get him, Sheriff Hagee.
Time to feed your maker. The wages of sin is dead. And you've been working like the devil. And it's a payoff time at last.
Sheriff Hagee, I'll be 1043 on a white Porsche I-85 southbound 145 miles an hour.
Sheriff, it's a Type 5. I can't catch you. You got him.
I'm 1072 with a scumbag at the River Bridge. We've got every license plate number that's ever been to your house in the last 2 years, son.
And your mama's too, scumbag. I got him in custody. What do you want me to do with him, Sheriff?
Cuff him and stuff him. Here you are, big tough guy with your orange striped uniform and your little pink flip-flops and the pink walls and the blue teddy bears and Big Bubba waiting to give you a big old welcome home kiss.
I said pay attention to the sheriff, boy.
You're here and your woman's at home with a new man, sleeping with all your buddies while Jody's got your house, your truck, your money, and your remote control, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even a card-toting, bleeding-heart liberal judge wouldn't let you off this time, would he, son?
The rock and roll band SmashAlley.com will continue to support law enforcement, and we want you to check out Sheriff Gerald Hagee's collectible merchandise at his non-profit website called BlueLineFoundation.com. Rock on, Sheriff Hagee. We love you.
An officer carries a dying little girl and knocks on the door at that child's mama's place. One of the toughest on the force for 23 years, but you could see a flood of tears streaming down his face. Now the very next morning, as he's leaving for work, his own little girl says, "Daddy, you're my hero." His lovely wife, she starts to cry as he kisses him goodbye. There's something I've just got to say before you go. She says, "I'm worrying a little and I'm praying a lot when you don't come home on time." She said, "That's what I do because I love you, and the world out there is so unkind." And then he smiled and took her hand to wipe the teardrop from her eye. He said, "You got to hold back the tears and be strong. This man in blue fights to right what's wrong. And this morning I'm going to help carry on the blue line, that thin blue line." That day the sun went down and he was nowhere around. She said, "Get ready for bed, your daddy's late again."
waited way too long. She knew that something was wrong, 'cause he was much, much later than he had ever been. She heard a knock on the door, and she threw it open wide. There stood two older officers with tears in their eyes. There's been a tragedy today. Your husband's passed away. Lord, she just fell to her knees and trembled and cried. And she remembered how she told him that she worried and prayed when he didn't come home on time. She said, that's what I do because I love you, and the world out there is so unkind. She remembered how he smiled and took her hand to wipe the teardrop from her eye. He'd say, you've got to hold back the tears and be strong. This man in blue fights to right what's wrong. And this morning I'm gone to help carry on the blue line. That thin blue line. So many people at the funeral. There were lawmen as far as the eye could see. And as they handed her the folded flag, her hands they trembled as she sobbed with grief. And in that misty rain, feelings of anguish and pain, and not one dry eye in the place. His little daughter placed a flower on her hero's grave, with a river of tears flowing down her face. And her mama said, remember how I told him that you worried and prayed when he didn't come home on time? She said, that's what I do because I love you, and the world out there is so unkind. If he were here right now, he would hold your hand and wipe the teardrop from your eye. He'd say, you've got to hold back the tears and be strong. This man in blue fought to right what's wrong. And I know I'm gone, but please carry on the blue line. Thin blue line. Let me tell you a story. Oh yeah. A little boy says, Daddy, why are we raising this flag up so high? 'Cause in the war, that was my job, and we'll raise it till it gets to the top. 'Cause Lady Liberty may break down and cry, but she's still holding that torch way up high. And there's an eagle flying high in the sky as he raised the flag. As he raised the flag. Dying men could not salute, but still tried. 'Cause Lady Liberty may break down and cry, but she's still holding that torch way up high. And there's an eagle flying high in the sky as he raised the flag. As he raised the flag, he sees the crowd who burn his flag, and they stomp the stars and stripes like a rag. They left behind the flag he found among the ashes that were left on the ground. I saw that wounded soldier break down and cry. He clutched a faded flag they said could not fly, but through the tears there was a fire in his eyes as he raised that flag. Oh, yes he did. You should have seen old glory fly. Yes, he raised that flag. Oh, yes he did. You should have seen old glory fly. Forever flying high. Oh, just get your family by your side. Walk out and feel the freedom and the pride. Make time to raise that flag.
But you